In 1990, the National Garden Festival was held in Gateshead. Funded by local and central government and the private sector, this was the latest in a series of festivals throughout the country to help regenerate areas of derelict land. The Gateshead site took 5 years to clear and prepare and covered 200 acres, stretching for 1.5 miles south of the River Tyne. As well as floral displays, visitors saw a wide range of attractions, including live music and other entertainment, with something for all ages, including the largest Ferris wheel in Europe. Dozens of pieces of public art were scattered throughout the site to amuse and perhaps baffle the crowds. To enable visitors to travel easily around the festival, there were 4 types of public transport in operation. An overhead electric monorail system, with trains in the form of giant caterpillars. A tramway, whose vintage vehicles were on loan from the National Tramway Museum in Derbyshire. A miniature railway with steam trains from the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway. And a fleet of so-called road trains, with thinly disguised farm tractors pulling 6 or 7 trailers. And also one form of transport which wasn't going anywhere. A train on display from the Tyne and Wear metro system, which was celebrating its 10th anniversary. We'll now take a brief tour of the festival site, stopping off at places of interest, beginning at Norwood monorail station. The trains ran on a circular route linking Norwood with Eslington. Norwood is at the southern end of the complex and was formerly occupied by Norwood Coke Works, which closed 10 years earlier, and a tar plant. This show village, the nucleus of a future housing development, had the festival logo, a butterfly, built into the brickwork of the houses. After briefly skirting the edge of the festival site, we pass under the first of several railway bridges, which were specially painted for the event, each one a different design. A total surprise as we enter Eslington is this art installation entitled Red Army. Over 1,000 steel figures make up the work, each one over 4 feet tall. A display of farming methods includes a variety of animals. Always a favourite with children. Farming machinery from yesteryear is also in action. This futuristic glass building includes display halls for regular flower and plant shows. On this occasion, all manner of cacti were on offer. Mythical Beasts is the name of the wooden structures in this children's playground. This glass pyramid next to Eslington monorail station is the centrepiece of the British Rail exhibit. Outside is the figure of a man holding a railway timetable. His outstretched arm forms the pointer of a huge sundial, the discarded pages on the ground indicating the hours. Heading back towards Norwood, the caterpillar passes a series of 4 bench sculptures. This example is carved from Jurassic period limestone about 150 million years old. The monorail then turns sharp right past an 8 feet tall bronze sculpture. Re-entering Norwood, we find the wetlands garden, which shows how nature can be reintroduced to areas of former industrial wasteland. This figure of a Highland warrior, which the monorail passes on its way back to its starting point, is part of an avenue of statues from the Argyll and the Isles tourism group, enticing visitors to the west coast of Scotland. One hopes the locals are more welcoming. Other figures included a Viking warrior and St. Columba. The trams ran along a narrow section called the Boulevard, which connected Eslington with Dunston to the north. Representations of various European landmarks had been erected. The Leaning Tower of Pisa contrasts with the real tower block in the distance, known locally as the Dunstan Rocket. More butterflies at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower. Three different trams were in operation. The boulevard followed the route of a disused railway leading to Dunstan Staithes. The narrow gauge railway connected Dunstan with Riverside at the northern end of the site. We'll join the train at Riverside station for the journey south. We cross over the River Teme on an existing bridge built to carry coal trains to the Staithes, which we'll see later, and we enter Dunstan. This site was formerly occupied by lines of railway sidings. The journey takes about 15 minutes from Riverside to Dunstan, where passengers making the single trip must alight. Two steam locos were in use, together with two diesels. Shortly after departing for the run back to Riverside, the train passes an art installation consisting of radio aerials which pick up signals from around the world in many languages. The train then climbs up to retrace its tracks over the River Teme, before dropping down back into Riverside. Seen from the other side of the line is the Devil, an 8 feet tall fiberglass sculpture. The marquee in the background was one of several covered venues used for live music performances. Riverside was formerly another industrial area, occupied by Reduf Gasworks. South of the line, an exhibit by Sunderland Council includes a play area built around the shape of the lantern worm. The sound comes from dozens of wind chimes hanging from the monster's wings. The train passes more flower beds, then turns south again, past a maze, on its way to Riverside station. In the right background is the river basin at Dunstan Staithes. Here regular water sports were held, on this occasion jet ski racing. Along the riverbank, the replica of George Stephenson's locomotion was being put through its paces. While a nearby exhibit by Northumberland County Council has a monk putting the finishing touches to the Lindisfarne Gospels, as a Roman soldier watches on from Hadrian's Wall. This notice on the 100-year-old Dunston staithes tells us they are the largest surviving wooden structure in Europe, built for the loading of coal from railway wagons into ships. They closed in 1980. This huge ball of rope, an art installation 10 feet in diameter, stands on the decking which now covers the top of the staithes, although a section has been left open to show the intact railway tracks beneath. From the top of the staithes we can see the stop for the road trains, where we take our seats for the non-stop ride back to Norwood. The trams are still doing good business as we pass along the boulevard. This may look like a pile of 91 picnic tables, which is what it is, but the artist described it as: "The pyramid is envisaged as a site of leisure and consumption, but the significance of the picnic table is its ordering of our experience of nature, a cultivation of the wilderness from a scenic viewpoint. In this case, the wilderness might be human nature or the post-industrial landscape. In any case, a rationalization is occurring, a garden being built." Soon we pass another sculpture and several more painted railway bridges before reaching the Norwood terminus. At the Norwood Showground, a collection of vintage cars is on display. The festival ran from May to October, attracting over 3 million visitors. 25 miles of hot dogs, 50,000 gallons of tea and 1 million ice creams were consumed. Today nearly half the site remains as landscaped parkland, with new housing on the Riverside, Dunstan and Norwood sections. The show village has expanded to become Festival Park, with streets named after types of butterflies.